Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. Today's topic is on starting a business. I'll share my first business experiences, the mistakes I did, the good things I did, the bad things I did. And currently I run a business for a company in Maldives. It's been like last 20 years I'm working here. And how do I run the business now? What has changed over a period of time? The first business I started when I was 19 years old. It was in 1989, December 19th, 1999. I started my first business. It was a retail pharmacy shop. I was just 19 years and say 32 days old when I started my own business. It was not a very well planned business or anything. What had happened was it was due to some situation reasons I had to get into business. It was not that I wanted to become a businessman, and that was not my goal or aim to do that. I wanted to continue my studies, but for some reasons I couldn't continue my studies, and I had to settle with a business. That was something like not with too much of happiness I started, but it worked really well for me. So I just completed my 10th standard from CBSE Central School, and then I did my diploma in pharmacy, did 1 year of internship training, and during my entire studies, starting from my 10th standard vacation, I have mentioned this is my previous video, my first job. After my 10th standard vacation, I was working in a retail pharmacy, getting some experiences but not really running a business experience, because I was just like working as a pharmacist dispensing medicines. I could understand many things, what happens in a pharmacy, but not really to run the pharmacy actually. So I started the business. This was in Kerala, in a place called Malainkir, Trivandrum. I started a retail pharmacy. I got some loans and some money from my father and relatives and started the business. My capital was 1,17,000 or something, less than 1,20,000 rupees for the entire project. This was the money what I had got, and I set up everything, a shop, paid advance, uh, furnished the place and started the business. Those days, there's nothing like business plan or anything. Some people say, this is a good place. You can start a pharmacy. Doctors are there. You'll get a lot of prescription. You can make a lot of money. This guy is making a lot of money. Why can't you make a lot of money? So there are no data or anything which can help me to do any business case, business plan, or anything to do to start that business. So that was how I started the business, and I was successful in terms of money and business also, because within 1 or 2 years I could return all the money which I had taken from whoever I had taken. But good thing was it was not a interest loan. Actually, it was interest free loan. It was a help from my relatives, my father. That's how I started, and within 2 3 years I could actually clear off all those, and I had good money also with me to start new things. So at the age of 19 I started this business. I could give employment to few people. I could serve the people of that place with giving them proper medicines. I could do a lot of things. This was becoming interesting for me, and I was successful because I was dedicated, I was hardworking, I was very focused actually. I had nothing else in my life to do actually. It was just waking up in the morning, open the shop sharp before, like at least before 8 o'clock in the morning, and I would be working till night 10 o'clock. That was my routine. No weekly off, no vacations, nothing for many years actually. That was the reason I was successful. I was focused. I was micromanaging actually. I used to be the person, because that business was known because of me actually. They would want to come and buy medicines because I am there. If I am out for something for say 10 15 minutes for a cup of tea also, people would wait with the prescription. They wanted, because I was the person who was running the business. So that was how it was going on for few years. Then I wanted to expand. I started a pharma business, means wholesale business, then marketing business, pharma marketing business. In that way I added on many businesses. I started expanding my team. Initially I would definitely do that work to understand how things work. Even when it came to pharma marketing, I used to go meet the doctors, talk to them, promote the products. Initially I started it, then I added few people who could work for that, qualified people, paid them well at the industry standards, and I kept them. It was working well. Then I liked the idea of internet cafe. I created the first internet village in Kerala. That was also working good. People used to come from faraway places. That was also again for me. Every business what I started, I used to think that it should be different from others, and I should be the first person to do it in that place at least. That was always in my mind, and I used to be doing that. Even then I started fixing low water conversion kits for Maruti vehicles. For from They can use the home gas cylinders. Those were the days. We didn't have gas in petrol bunks those days, so we used the same home cylinder, fix it on into the car, and use it. It was not, there was no regulations or anything like that to stop. We used to get these low water Italian kits and do the conversion. I had tied up with a mechanic and we were doing that. So I did a lot of things, and everything I had idea to make money, and my return on investments usually would be 1 or 2 years, or maybe sometimes before that also. So then related to medicals, pharma, I used to do a lot of business, even veterinary businesses. Those places we had a lot of scope for veterinary products. So I was doing a lot of business and I was successful. But after some time, maybe after 10 years, I felt I was bored of this business. I was doing too much. I was micromanaging everything because for everything I had to be there. I was the person there. And after 10 years, and my age also, see, I started this at the age of 19, and when I was like 20, like 30, late 20s and early 30s, and I started getting bored, and I really wanted to change, or I was not doing well actually, to be very honest. The focus was lost. I used to spend less time in the business and I wanted to study. Then I went for my software programming. I did my software programming, and I learned coding. I did a lot of web development. I did a lot of application development. Those that became my passion, and I stopped my first business. I sold off my first business, and I came to this current job that was almost now 20 plus years. I'm working for this job, and this job also, again, it is something, it's a business. I'm running the business for that company. So I have to plan the businesses, I have to think about requirements, and it's completely different. If you see the way I used to do 30, 35 years, and the way I am doing, it's completely different now. It's like, if I plan a business, it should be like almost 90% successful. It should reach the goals. It should, that's what how things are done nowadays, because we have a lot of information, data. We have different ways to check whether this is going to work or not. So we try to make our business plan so much realistic that it mostly works. Actually, return on investment should be not more than 2 to 3 years. That's the plan. And definitely what I do, again, my way of thinking, still it's the same. I want to do something different. I want to do something unique. I want to do it first, never the second. I don't want to compete with or launch a product which is already there. And whenever I want to do something, I would always think, how am I different from others? Why should people use my service, or why should people use my product? I should add value or improve the lives of the people. These are the things which are always in my mind. So for people, for youngsters who always think about starting something, first thing is, there's no quick money. Actually, there are businesses which can give you quick returns. Maybe, for example, covid came in, and so many people made a lot of money. We deal with hand sanitizers, gloves, face masks. Even we wanted to get into the PCR testing. So these are things which were really making big money actually. Even though we had some of our divisions closed during COVID, still we made good revenue because we were selling these products for the country. So similarly, for example, when COVID came, people started PCR labs for doing COVID testing. I'm sure many labs made huge amount of money. It was just a like quick money, and now those labs are closed. It doesn't exist, or that department at least would be closed. The PCR machine is no longer used like that. There were labs where they invested on many good number of machines to do quick results and test the maximum number of samples. That was the need, and it was business, and people made money. So there's nothing wrong in that actually. You can do proper business case and do it. There are risks. Again, I would say when you are taking risk, everything has a risk actually. But for me, I feel that we should do calculated risk. You should know the impact of the failure of a particular business. Now, I add on new businesses for my company almost every year, and any business which could fail or could not work as per the plans shouldn't impact the day-to-day operations of my company. It can be a small part of my business. I cannot a company say I am, for example, $100 million company, and I am getting into taking loans and investments and all kind of things and investing on a $500 million project, and the risk is so high that there are chances of failures and I can lose. Even my existing businesses can be in trouble. So always what I would say that if you are expanding or if you're going to do some new business, always make sure that it even if that fails, it shouldn't impact your regular businesses or other things or your regular life also. What happened for me during my first business, when I the pharmacy and those businesses, I had taken some loans for expanding businesses. Some businesses didn't work. I couldn't repay the loans from my regular cash flows. I had to take again loans to pay interest and settle people. So that became big burden for me, and I could realize that my regular business is not going to pay to settle these liabilities also. So I had to sell off some of my businesses, and anyway, definitely I was not on very big debt that I couldn't settle or something. Like I could settle everything and come out of my debts. And now whenever I do business, I always think that first thing is, see, it should be unique. It should be having 90 plus percentage of success. That should be your calculation. You should be sure of that. You shouldn't mix emotions and business actually. See, emotionally you may want to do something, but if it is going to be too risky, or if it is going to be something which is going to be taken care from your existing business, you don't really have any worries about the failure, then it's fine actually. We do such kind of things also. To be successful in your business, do proper plans, do proper studies. There should be some reason why your business should be successful. You should, suppose it's a product, why should somebody use your product? What is the life of your product? These are important things you need to know. The technology is growing so fast nowadays. Now today, if you're going to invest on something which is not going to have life, for example, I was just seeing, I was talking to some telecom engineers and people in that industry. 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, now 6G is going on. So the amount of money these people invest into upgrading the technology, the services, it's so high. I asked them whether they get the money back, or do they have to do really big investments to upgrade the services. So these are things, this is just an example. Even if, for example, if you start for say a lab, or I am in healthcare, so I'm just giving some examples connected to that. If you're starting a clinic, or if you're starting a hospital, or if you're starting a pharma business, if you're starting some kind of service or developing a software. So see, I used to develop small softwares. It was just like passion for me more than business, but I used to make good money also with that. Again, I used to develop WordPress plugins. I spent a lot of my time developing that. I started selling it, people started buying it. Problem is, I have to do continuous work. It's not that one time work actually. I have to keep upgrading the software because the versions of WordPress keep getting updated. I have to make it compatible with the new version. So a lot of work, there's a continuation, and it was me who was doing the coding. So there was a situation when I couldn't continue that, so I had to stop this business. Again, for me, there was no investment for that. It was just my laptop, and I'm sitting in my room and doing it. So whenever you start a business, you would be investing on things. You should know what you're going to invest. You should know what is going to be your return on investment, how soon you can get your money back. Will there be subsequent investments? What would be the operational cost? So all these things, do you have the right professionals? Do you have the right team to work with you? All these things are very important. See, alone you cannot do anything. You need to build a good team to work with you. Even if you are not able to do something, somebody should take care of that. And always build a business in a way that it runs automatically. There should be systems in place. There should be people responsible to take care of that. Don't take, maybe for the beginning you can get involved to do something or play a role in running that. Always businesses would be successful for a long term. That it, most of the companies work like that. There are people, responsible people in specific positions. They take care of their responsibilities, and companies run like that. So now for me to build a business, it's not that tough. I can say that this would work or not, or I may decide not to do it because I feel that the chances of success is very less, or I may feel that this doesn't add value to for people, or I may, it may not be the kind of business which I want to do. So for me now, it's planning a business, planning finances. These are things which I've been doing for many years, last 20 years even. And I have done so many business plans. I've executed many businesses. I have still running many businesses. So these are things which are, I feel it's mainly proper planning, few parameters which you need to be very careful, and do things wisely. You should be clear about what you are doing, and most importantly, dedication, focus, hard work. These are very important to be a successful businessman. Currently, other than this, it's not a business for me. I'm developing the farm, but in future definitely it's going to be a business, not a business or a very commercial venture, because some kind of things what you do doesn't make big money or return on investment properly, but still you can, if you are able to manage it or keep running for some reason, can do that also. So this is what I wanted to talk about, my first business and my experiences, my thoughts on running businesses. See, job and business, it's completely different actually. But for me, actually, I am on a particular job here. I am not the owner of this business, but it's like my own business. I have been running this for almost more than 2 decades now. So I am like part of the business very closely, or running the business very closely for my company. Yeah, so that's all for now. Anything related to business or anything related to investment or business plans you want to know from me, please let me know. I am happy to share. I'm happy to share my thoughts, my experiences. That's all for now. Bye. Take care.